Hi there, it's Rachel the Outdoor Witch. I hope you're doing well. So, actually, today I had a topic for you and I filmed the entire video, and then something came up, and actually, I was back to square one, thinking that despite all the time I've been studying these materials, metaphysics, the creation, how we manifest our own world and own reality, I was still a beginner. And so, maybe it's also important for me to share this with you because I don't know where you are on your journey, but this might help you. So, the initial video was easy is the new sexy. And why, despite knowing this, is it still so hard to let go and trust that the easiest way is the best way to achieve things, to reach goals, and that we still have to struggle, we still feel this need to struggle to fight for what we want. So that was the topic, and I was super excited to share this with you. And something came up, and I couldn't do it the easiest way. I had to fight, and I was back into my old grumpy mode, as I call it. Holding grit against people and feeling like a victim again. And I think that's what I have to share with you. What trips people up when they want to achieve things, manifest things in their life, what keep them stuck in this vicious cycle and back to square one all the time when they could achieve what they want in a much faster way. So if this applies to you, keep on watching. So whether you're new or not in this new earth thinking, like we create our own reality, the fourth dimension or even fifth dimension, that we have this power within us to manifest whatever we want, and that the way to achieve it is through our belief system, the way we feel and think, and that the way we feel inside is projecting on the outside, and that we are creating our own reality from the inside out, and not the other way around. So if you're new into this topic, maybe it's a bit of a big jump, but if you're not, this must resonate with you. So you might have tried to manifest many things in your life, whether it's great relationships, money, financial ease, or anything else, also practical things, and it's not working. And you keep hearing the things that you have to do it the easy way, you have to allow good things into your life, but despite knowing this, you can't do it. And recently I've experienced that it's really true. Once you let go, once you trust the process, things happens to you so much faster, and it's so easy, and things flow into your life and you don't have to struggle for it. It just comes easily. But many times it's not the case. Many times you feel like you just can't achieve anything, it's just not working the way you want, and you keep doing all these visualization meditations, but still it doesn't seem to work the easy way. And I think there's two main factors why we have difficulty accepting to do it the easy way. So the first one is really our conditioning. We've been conditioned for so long, not only in our lifetimes, but for the past centuries, and I mean since the beginning of mankind, that life is hard and that you have to fight for what you want. All about these hero struggles, the journey to success is kind of even better if you go through struggles, if it's hard, if you have to, really fight your way through the wanted goal or the desired goal. And this is so entrenched within us, it's so imprinted within us, that when we hear that you can do it in a much easier way, it's hard to believe it. We tend just not to believe it, because if it was that easy, why are not people doing it for much longer? Everyone should do it this way. Uh, but I think it's pretty new, this thinking that you can actually achieve anything in your life in a much easier way. Whether it's achieving a good health, healing from disease, from addictions, getting financial ease, amazing relationships, the life you want. This is really new to think that it's the path of least resistance, quoting Abraham Hicks, uh, that you actually achieve things in your life. And because it's so new, it's not mainstream yet. Most people still think, and I'm pretty sure it's going to take some time for them, you know, for most of the people of this planet to start believing and knowing and trusting that's the easiest way is the process to wonderful, easy, successful manifestation in our lives. So when you start thinking like this and you know it's true because it feels so good, it feels so much more empowering, and there's a lot more hope and joy in this process than, fighting and doing it the hard way, the no pain, no gain typical way of doing it. When you start doing it this easiest way, sometimes you have to keep it secret or to yourself, because not everyone is going to understand this. Not everyone is ready to hear this, accept this, and do it this way, because it's so related to our belief systems, to our thinking process, to our spiritual awakening, or wherever we are on our journey. So you just have to be okay that not everyone can understand you, but keep doing it this way if you feel it's right for you. And this is sometimes difficult because you want to talk about it with some people, whether it's your relatives, close friends, and it's not all the time working. There's many people who just can't understand this, and that's okay too. But just keep doing it for yourself, just for yourself, because you know how good it feels. You know how better, how more joyful you feel, how more empowered and looking forward to the future you feel when you do things this way. So yeah, that was the first thing that often trip people off, is that it's this conditioning that has been there for so long, and that you have to reprogram in your mind, that you have to really change or decide otherwise for yourself and for your life. For that, you sometimes go totally against your culture, against your background, your family beliefs, and it's not always easy. And it's kind of contradictory, because I just said that we want to do things the easiest way, and actually doing it the easiest way is a challenge in itself, because that's not what we are used to. And so if you were looking for a challenge, there you have one. To do things the easiest way requires kind of an effort. It requires focus on your part. You really have to decide and focus your thoughts, your way of being, your way of thinking in this direction. That now you're going to follow the easiest path, the path of least resistance. And this leads me to the second factor that makes things hard to believe in the easiest way. And it's actually that when you decide to do things this way and actually not to do them in a way, because when you choose the path of least resistance, there's much less efforting, there's less things to do. The path is much clearer to you without you trying to work your way through it or find a solution, dig into the problem. Things come to you or appear to you in a much easier, things flow to you much quicker, easier. It's really nice. And when you live or start living this way, you actually keep your mind, your ego mind, on the side. You don't use it as much. And so your ego mind, your ego, who is here all the time, who plays such an important role in your life, or actually had so far, it's kind of like, hey, but come on, listen to me, don't stop ignoring me, I'm here, I'm the one in charge here normally. So your mind just starts freaking out, really, because it's like, hey, you stop asking my opinion all the time. And when you start living your life from this other mindless state, which means more than you lead from your heart rather than just from your mind, it's your mind who don't want you to go down this way, because it doesn't know this. It's so new, it's not used to it. But you have to understand that your mind has not been designed to help you reach your goals in an easy way, or achieve whatever you want in your life, or manifest a new reality for you the easiest way. Your mind is here to solve problems and help you navigate this life on a day-to-day basis, but for very practical things. And when it comes more to spirituality and creating things from the inside out, and more based on our feeling, on our intuition, the mind is lost. It's not its job. And I think we've given it so much more job and responsibility that it was meant to have. And that's why we all struggle so much with creating a new reality for ourselves, because we all think that it's the mind who's going to do it. The power of the mind. We hear it all the time for so many spiritual teachers. But I've now became aware that it's actually the mindless states that help us achieve what we want much faster and in a much easier way. And what I mean by mindless state is not to act in a silly way. It's more like to leave your heart lead the way, your intuition, and keep your thinking pattern, your overactive mind to the side, and just use it when it's needed for, for very practical day-to-day activities where you need it. And that's why at the beginning your mind is just going to scream and shout at you and trying to tell you, hey, but you have to do something here. This is ridiculous to, go by your feelings or go by your intuition. You can't do it this way. You're just going to hit the wall. So your mind tries to protect you. And actually, that's the only thing it knows, and it's to act as a protector. But it doesn't know this deep, deep truth that you are much more than just a thinking being. You are much more than this doing being. You are way, way more. We all are way, way more. And a lot of ourself is still this non-mind. This it's much wider, much broader than what we can see. There's far more than what meets the eyes. And once you really become aware that your thinking, the thinking you is only a tiny part of who you are, it's easier to go and follow what your heart is calling you to do, or trust that things are going to happen to you in a much easier way if you stop fighting, if you stop and give up the struggle. And many times I've been told that, oh, but this is, if that's too easy to work, this is wishful thinking, or are you living in a world with rose glasses? And I'm like, hey, yes, maybe that's it. Why do you think life has to be so hard? Why couldn't we live in a world that has, you know, that is beautiful and amazing? Why does it has to be so hard and painful? And you can watch all my videos on how our beliefs shape our reality, because what you believe is going to see in the outside is going to show in your world. So if you think that life is super hard, that you have to fight your way through it, that you really have to struggle, and then that's what you're going to experience. But for myself, and I can talk only for myself, I had enough of this. And that's what helped me get out of years of eating disorders. And lately I've been through a huge personal growth, and I really decided now, no, I go the easiest way, because every time I'm trying to fight my way, I'm trying to control everything with my mind, things get so hard and I'm just going nowhere. But when I let go of control, I just trust the process, I stay very clear with what I want, but then I just let the universe or God or your subconscious, whatever you want to call it, lead the way, and trust that the steps are going to be shown to me. Things work so beautifully. So I'm not telling you, believe me, I'm just telling you once again, try it for yourself. And remember, your mind is going to try to stop you on this way because it's something so new. It doesn't know this, and it hates anything that is unknown. It hates changes and any kind of change. So when you start living this way by following more your heart and your intuition, sometimes you might face obstacles because it's like the old story, the old you, the old reality, which is still showing a bit in this new reality that you are creating. But just don't give up. Keep on, because it feels so much better, and you will feel so much better in this new version of your reality that you are creating. So that was the second factor, is that your mind, your ego minds, wants to be part of the game all the time. And when you left it to the side, it just feels abandoned, ignored, and it doesn't know this way of being. And that's why it just really tried to get your attention by all means. But it doesn't mean it is true. What your mind is telling you is not the truth. Listen to your heart. You know deep down yourself that you can achieve anything you want by giving up the struggle and following the impulses, the inspiration, what really makes you happy and makes you, feel joyful and alive and happy to wake up every morning and do, and spend your day. So one thing a tip I can give you is a way to dissociate yourself from your thoughts, because if you are much more than your thought and you are this mindless, much broader being, you have to live in a different way, just not all the time be driven by your thinking patterns and what your, you know, this ongoing thinking process that makes you think of the future all the time or back to the past, and have all these kind of mixed feelings and emotion and confusions. So one thing is to dissociate your thoughts from your feeling. And what you can do is, whenever you have emotions or feelings that come up following an event or a situation in your life or an encounter or whatever, stay with the feelings, stay with the emotions, and don't engage in your thoughts. Whenever you have something happening to you, it's going to react in your body. You're going to feel it in your body, or you're going to have an emotion, and it can be expressed in so many different ways. It's really specific to you. But then this emotion is usually followed by thinking. You add meaning to whatever you've been experiencing, and this meaning is what colors the experience you just had. So try to stay with the feelings, stay with the emotions, but don't add meaning to it. Don't engage in this thought process. And you'll see what happens. And I can tell you, the emotions can be very vivid and intense, but they're going to fade away much quicker. They're just going to pass. The feelings, the emotion are just going to pass. And if you don't engage in this thinking process, it's like, don't start to be like feeling like a victim like I did today because something happened to me, and I was like starting to think, oh no, he's acting like the same way he has always, this kind of grumpy old witch. And it's more really like, okay, this happened, it's a fact. I stay with the fact. I don't color it with anything that I've experienced previously in my life. I just stay with the fact and what it did to me. So it doesn't feel good. Oh, just have a look. Hello, little. So, yeah, sorry. So just stay with that feeling, stay with that emotion, but don't color it, and see how it goes. And you'll see, the more you live your life this way, everything will flow more easily in your life. So in another video, I will be more specific on some topics, but today was just a general way of starting to live your life in this mindless state. So dissociate your feelings, your emotions from your thoughts, and see what happens. I'm just very curious to have your feedback on this, because for me it does wonders. And whenever I don't feel good, whenever I've been caught in my old thinking process, I go back to this. I take a minute for myself. I don't necessarily meditate, but I go into nature. I go spend time with the horses or my dogs, because they are always in the present moment. And I go back to the basics, go back to these roots, to anchor myself in reality, like in what I mean by reality, in nature, in what is really there, living to its fullest, because nature is always living in the present. Animals are always in the present. So I go back to this present. I let my feelings, emotion go out, and then I can find my balance again. So try this for yourself and see how it goes. And I wish you all the best until next video. And please like, share, and subscribe if you think this video can help another one. Okay, so have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. Bye for now. Bye bye.